In the first 10 years of my life, I wasn't able to read or write. That was because of dyslexia. In this video, I want to go a bit deeper about my journey. Now I'm able to speak English, speak Dutch, and a little bit of Japanese. And it has been an amazing journey. When I was younger, in the process of still learning how to read and write, I've been to 5 different primary schools. When I was 4, it was the first time they really knew, like, okay, he has a difficulty learning how to read. I had a teacher and she was the mother of my best friend. So she always let me just play in the back of the class because we already went through the whole process of trying to teach me how to read and just gave up after a while. So they just let me play when we were learning Dutch or learning anything of the language. It was good for a while. My parents realized that we couldn't continue with that. They took me off that school. We found a school where the kids can choose whenever they want to learn. They can choose how they want to learn. That school was very cool. I've been there for 5 months. I was free, I learned a lot, but I didn't learn how to read. We kept on going, kept on looking, and along the way we did something called the Davis method. Davis method is amazing. I think there I finally got a grasp of how the letters work, because up till now, and it was in a period of, maybe I was 9 at this point, and I wasn't even able to write letters. Letters couldn't even click in my head, like the sound with the letters. So what the Davis method is, out of clay we would form the letters, big letters, small letters, and even like animals and all these different things, and it was a fun process. And I think there I got that connection of the sound to the letter. So Davis method, amazing thing. I highly recommend it. There was this school called the Tobias School. I can still remember. My mother and I went there and I can remember hearing the principal said, "I'm sorry, we cannot teach your kid. We cannot teach your kid how to read." Can you imagine as a mother hearing that a school isn't even able to teach your kid something? They're just denying you. And my mother didn't give up. She's the strongest woman I know. A few years ago, I finally understood how strong you have to be when the whole world is saying that your kid cannot do something. And she had just trust that I would be able to learn how to read or write whenever I was ready for it. I'm so grateful for her, because I never felt like I couldn't do anything. She always made me feel like I could do anything. And I can really see that now in my mindset at this time. So my mom and I didn't give up. Actually, we wanted to go to Greece because we couldn't find anything, and we just said, like, fuck it. We leave the country, go to Greece. I would learn how to surf, work on a farm, and just hang out there. And we had planned everything, and we were going. We were walking in Amsterdam, and the police came, and they asked, "Why is your kid not in school?" So this whole thing with like the government and having kids in school, I'm not sure what it's called in English, but they don't really like it when you don't put your kid in school. So we got in trouble with them. That plan fell through, but that was actually good, because after we finally found this school called the Annie M. G. Smit School. And the Annie M. G. Smit School that's where it happened. There was a taalgroep, or language group, and there was a class with 2 teachers, only focused on kids with dyslexia. And these teachers, they're magicians. They ignited a fire in me. They created this thing. They made me understand. They made me understand something that no one else was able to. They taught me how to read and write, while 4 other schools weren't even touching this service. I'm super thankful for these 2 teachers, so thank you. They had this cool system. They had this system where every morning you did a small test and you got a signature, and these signatures you get on your card, and they worked as money you could buy things with. I really enjoyed those. Like, anytime you could get a signature with something, it's just a money type thing, and so maybe I was just very eager for that. But it worked. It worked. After 2 months, I got so much progress, and I was 9 or 10 when I got to this school. And normally in the Netherlands, you go to high school when you're around 11, 12, and you would think that I would be very far behind with my learning, and I would say so myself. But in those 2 years, I just studied and just worked, and I was able to go to high school with all my friends of my same age, not doing a year over. I think that's thanks to those teachers. And of course, my mother, She always believed in me. From there, high school was just a normal run. I think the coolest thing was, I can still remember, I was never really bullied for being dyslexic. I can remember my friend asked my mom or me, or he said, "Why isn't Tom able to read?" And my mother said, "You know, you're colorblind, right?" And David said, "Yes." It's like that. It's the same. And then from there, that was it. It was funny how that worked. And then high school was just normal. In the Netherlands, we have different levels of high school. You have high levels and low levels, and I just went to a lower level. That was perfect, because all those other levels, you get so much homework at home, and it wasn't really my thing anyway. The days were a bit longer, but you didn't have to go home, study. I could just be a kid when I got home. Just do my own thing, play. That was what I needed. The school that I went to was so fun. We had so much cool classes. We had cooking, we had things with animals, we had landscaping, we had building with wood, we had even something with flower arrangement. It's so untraditional, but you learn so much stuff. Of course, my favorite subject, math, was fun. Now I never calculate triangles anymore. And then they thought they needed to teach you. Now I'm here in a beautiful different country, speaking English to my phone on a mountain. Yeah, I still have sometimes problems with hearing the A-I-E, because in English, A, I, E, they're exactly different from in the Netherlands. So the letter's the same, but the sound, we put a different sound to each letter. So if someone spells something very quickly, I'm like, fuck, one more time, bit slower. English I learned through watching. I watched so much American movies, and my subtitles weren't working. I was always streaming illegally online, so I had to adapt. I think the major part of building my vocabulary was through just listening to audiobooks. First it was just fun books and Harry Potter and things, and then it just started being more psychology and personal development oriented. I started seeing so much progress in my English. I was like, wow, I never studied. It's getting along. It's because I was learning it through something that I really enjoyed. Now I'm in a different country, speaking English, making videos in English, doing interviews, and never imagined to be able to. That's the reason why I went to the other side of the world, just get out of my comfort zone and do different things. I can still remember when I was a small boy and me and my dad were in the car, and he would point to a sign with words on it, and he would say, "In the future, you'll be able to read this." I couldn't even imagine it. Now I feel like my English is getting to a point where I can make myself more clear and understood. I'm trying to get into more of public speaking and that sort of thing. It's very cool. It's a cool journey, and it's a slow process. I feel the more consistent I become, the more I can see the growth. And now I'm adding even a small third language where I try to learn how to speak Japanese. It's the fucking solution. I always write my grammar all phonetically, and in both languages, English and Dutch, they don't really like it when you write it phonetically, because they're like, no, you don't write it like that. But Japanese, it's exactly how they write it. What they say is what they write. That's how good it is. When I found that out, that Japanese is a phonetic language, I thought, oh, it's fixing my problems, let's learn it. So I lived there for 3 months, studied every day, and now I can speak a little bit. Skoshi nihongo hanashimasu, but a little bit. Have small conversations with some people. But it's fun, it's good, it's enjoyable. I enjoy the process, especially because there's so much stuff to watch in Japanese. If I can learn the language as much as I speak English now through watching, then let's do it. The journey of learning from nothing to being able to read and write is the major thing is just having strong parents. I was so blessed. My dad was always working. He created the opportunity for my mom to just be at home and be there for me. She was just the strongest, just always believing. I think that's what I see now, how powerful belief is. If I want to do something, I can. If I want to run 100 kilometers, I can. If I want to start a business, I can. If I want to get a YouTube channel with 1 million followers, I can. It's just consistency and keeping going. That's what I want to achieve, is just keep on going, doing amazing things, and have something to look back on and think wow, is that really what I've done? And then, yes. by just doing my own thing. Hope to inspire some other people. Same with the next interview that's coming out is with Adam Green. I'll look forward to that, but he is so inspiring and he inspired me to do a lot of things. Thank you guys for watching. I upload every week. If you want to see more videos like this, then join the Sandman community, hit the like button, and if you have any questions, pop them in the comments, and I'll see you next week. Peace out. Holy shit. Easy. Let's go.